Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, She Sews Happiness. I'm Mary Ellen and this is my weekly installment of what I've been sewing, or more realistically this week what I have not been sewing, but what I have been planning to sew. So as you can see or hear, I'm still pretty awful with this sinus infection that I seem to have. It's just not clearing up and I still sound like I've been singing in a jazz bar for the last 20 years. But nevertheless, I thought I'd pop on and catch up with where I've been this week in terms of making or not making. So I set off with really good intentions, but again, because I'm still infected with whatever this is, and doctors are a bit wary about prescribing antibiotics at this point, which is fair enough, I get it. I'm a bit wary as well, but it would be nice to have a voice and to not have a temperature and to just feel 100% again. Nevertheless, I'm sure the day is coming and I'll feel so much better soon. So, in the background, you can see I still have the project that I was working on this time last week. I have managed to get a skirt attached to my Rita blouse dress hack, and I have let it drop for a week, so it'll be pretty easy to even out that hem, and I can rest assured that I won't have to even it out again after wearing. I usually only leave my hems to drop for about 2 evenings. If I'm really impatient and I want to wear something, I'll let it drop overnight and then hem it, but I do find that the longer I leave it to drop, the better a finish I get. So I'll do that later on this evening. I've been cutting out a new project to sew this afternoon and had a little bit of an annoying moment when I discovered, picture here, a hole in my fabric. So I had just finished out cutting all of the pieces. I was folding them up, setting them aside for this evening when I'll come back to it after a couple of hours out and about. And I just saw this little hole in the bottom of the back piece of my Coatigan. So the pattern I'm sewing up is the Jessie Coatigan by Sew Over It, which I've decided to make this year instead of making a new coat. I am in need of some outerwear, given the fact that almost 7 months pregnant now, none of my fitted garments are of any use to me at all this year, so I needed to make something quite practical. And I've already had a run through of it because I've made myself a big baggy cardigan using the Jessie Coatigan pattern. If you're not familiar with it, I'll pop a wee picture in here. So I had a couple of meters of a brick coloured rib knit fabric, which I was sent by Minerva as part of the brand ambassador program. And I just wanted something that I could throw on when I'm in the house, when I'm stitching, reading, vegetating, just to throw over as an extra layer in the colder evenings. Not that it ever gets cold in this house because the heat is unreal with double cavity walls, which Simon decided to put in, which is fair enough. Whenever it is cold, I'll be appreciative. But now, while it's not just so cold, the house is roasting. But yeah, so I have this. I will be writing up a blog post about it. The fabric is not actually what I had anticipated. So it is a rib cotton knit, and I mean, it's beautiful, the colour's beautiful, it's really nice. But it has a very strange feel to it once it's been washed. I actually preferred it before I pre-washed it. And now that I have, it just has a really cold feel to it. Sorry, bit of an edit there, the battery was about to die. So as I was saying, the fabric itself feels cold. And I know that's a very strange descriptor for it. It's also really flimsy, which again it wasn't. When it first arrived, it felt much more structured. Now that I've sewn it up, it doesn't feel the same at all. When you're sewing with it, it stretches a little bit. So thankfully this was just something I made to wear indoors while I'm sitting at the desk or whatever and maybe feeling a bit of a chill, but I don't love it. I'm not enthusiastic about it. It has, however, given me an idea for how the Jessie Coatigan will sew up. It'll be straightforward. It's not lined or anything like that, but I've got this gorgeous boucle, or what I was really feeling was just a gorgeous boucle until I discovered that hole. Now, saying that, I could be a patient girl, and I could order an extra meter and wait before I start sewing. But me being who I am, I've decided to give a go at mending it. So I've kind of fixed it. So you've seen the picture. It wasn't a huge hole, but this is the boucle. And given the boucle is quite textured, I figured it would be forgiving enough just to do a quick repair. So all I did was, the hole was just here. I, from the reverse, did a little ladder stitch and just picked up either side of that hole, pulled it closed, and I have reinforced it here with a stretch black interfacing. So you can see it, but it's not so obvious that it's going to matter. So hopefully that will do the trick. Once I hem it by a couple of centimeters, you know, that's what it's going to look like. Nobody's going to see that in the inside of my coat. And from the outside, I don't think you can see where I've mended it. So hopefully that will do the trick. I'm hoping to sew that one up this evening. It's a pattern that there is a little bit of hand finishing to, so that's something for me to do in the next few evenings during the week as well. But yeah, the pattern itself, super simple, really straightforward, nicely oversized, so it does exactly what you want it to do. And I might even make a red version as well, which is not in that boucle, which is now trying to fall everywhere. The other thing I'm planning to get cut out today are my dog beds, which I've mentioned probably 3-4 times by now, but they just haven't been a priority because of the amount of pieces I'm going to have to cut. And I am probably a broken record at this point, but the cutting part of sewing never used to bother me. It's just now that I'm pregnant and in the later months, I just find it exhausting and annoying, and I just cannot be bothered. So I put things off as long as possible. But here I am. Tonight I'm going to cut out those pieces once I sew up the main body of my Coatigan and go from there. But yeah, not an awful lot of actual stitchery happening in the sewing room this week. I have, however, been working on my cross stitch project. So this was my September cotton and twine cross stitch box, which I believe I did share with you this month. I haven't been good at sharing recently because I wasn't making too many videos. But as you can see here, I have made quite a bit of progress on stitching up this month's project. And once this is finished, it will turn into like a wall hanging piece just to put up on the wall. Now, it would look really cute in a window or something as well for Halloween. But I just love the colours, and yeah, I got really inspired to sit and do some stitching this month, which has been really relaxing. And I'm much happier with that than I am that cotton rib fabric cardigan, saying that, you know, I'll probably throw that on me most evenings in the winter, so it's not a wasted project. It's just not one that I'm enthusiastic or excited about, just because the fabric didn't behave in a way that I thought it should behave. So going forward then, I've got my coat and my dog beds to make this week. Thinking of a further project, I do plan on making a new over jacket for Simon. So Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn had a small collection of stock from Wax London. Now Wax London are known for their kind of shacket style garments, and I picked up 3 meters of one of these wools. So you can just see here, it's a gorgeous navy, but it's got your kind of like reddish stripes, your navy blue stripes running through there as well. So he picked this one himself, which hopefully means he'll like it and wear it. And the pattern that I've opted to make this up in, staying kind of true to what was intended by the designers of the fabric, I'm going to make an overshirt jacket. Now the fabric, to me, I think that would make a gorgeous dress jacket, but he doesn't need one of those. He does need something a little bit more casual, and this is what he wants. So I showed him a few patterns, and the one we've decided on is the overshirt jacket by Wardrobe by Me. This is a pattern company that I've looked at several times. I've never actually got around to making any of their patterns, but this sewing pattern is just described as inspired by workwear and the boxy lumber shirt. It has a comfortable collar, several interchangeable pockets, two-piece cuffed sleeves. The body has side slits and a generous back yoke. All visible seams are top stitch. Pretty classic. I'll pop a couple of their pictures in here for you. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to look in that fabric, because to me that fabric is a nice sports jacket or something, you know. Would make a gorgeous suit. But we're going to try making this oversized jacket. The Ilford was also a possibility, but it didn't really do it for him, and the Ilford doesn't really do it for me either. But I was thinking of something just that was kind of on brand to what Wax London do. But no, we're going to go for the Wardrobe by Me men's overshirt jacket instead. So yeah, I don't really have any other firm plans. I did manage to get my mulled wine colourway in the viscose jersey from First for Fabrics that I've been banging on about for the last couple of videos. So I'll be making myself, hopefully, if I remember this time, because if you recall last week I was telling you about this fabric, which I was supposed to sew up into a Sew Over It Esma dress. And then I forgot I had the pattern, and I just made a Colette Patterns Monetta dress with this fabric, but that was an oversight. So we'll try out the Esma dress when I get the New Jersey fabric in the mail. It should be here this week, along with a couple of other fabrics that I have purchased. I did get one little fabric delivery that was for me this week. I'm not buying an awful lot of fabrics that are woven at the moment for the obvious reasons, but the Fabric Fox was having like a 50% sale, and it was, you know, early hours of the morning. I wasn't sleeping that great, so I did treat myself to one fabric. So I got like 2.5 meters of this Dashwood cotton, and I have a thing for Dashwood quilting cottons. I have quite a lot of dresses made up in this range. If I can find pictures of some of them, I will pop them in here so you can see. I think I made Schultz Apparel's Gerda dress in the pink woodland animal colorway. What else did I make? I think I had the birds as well. What I made with it, I'm not quite sure. I'll find the pictures and pop them in. So yeah, that's just something for me to put away into my stash. It was just a little treat to make myself feel better about the insomnia that seems to hit now and again. And the other thing I bought just as a tiny little gift to myself were the Oh Sew Quaint donut pattern weights, which have come back. So they've been gone. The shop's been closed, I think, for a couple of years. Pretty much the shop's been closed for as long as I've been stitching, because I remember when I started sewing seeing these, and I used pattern weights a lot more then than I do now. I have actually become a pin over pattern weight person, but I bought these just because they were so cute. And I'll pull a couple out just so I can show you. They're 30 grams each, so they're not awfully heavy, but they are absolutely adorable. I think they're really sweet. So yeah, even as a decorative thing, I thought I'd get myself a packet. And And I suppose the only time I ever really find myself using the rotary cutter has been when I'm making tiny little patterns for the baby. So I'm sure I will use them, but even if I don't, I just thought they were really cute and I had to have them. So that's what I've been buying. And next week I'll have a few more fabrics to show you as well, and hopefully be able to show you this coat. I'll try and get a picture of that cardigan, but I'm not that enthused by it. So if I don't pop a picture in at this juncture, you'll know why. It's because I've looked at it and went, meh. Anyhow. That's where I am. I'm going to go out for a couple of hours and hopefully get this video edited and uploaded this evening. Although I might just sew and I might edit and upload this video during the week. You never know. But yeah, I thought I'd pop on just to show you where I am, share with you. It's not really a sewing fail. I mean, it's a wearable garment. I think it turned out exactly how it was going to turn out. I couldn't have done anything to make it more appealing to myself. But yeah, it just doesn't thrill me. And unless things really excite me, I find it pretty hard to say anything positive about them. I actually have to write a blog post up, and I'm sure there are other reasons that fabric would be useful. But if I can't just make a basic cardigan, maybe I don't have anything nice to say about it at all. Apart from the colour. I love the colour. It's the same colour as my hair. But yeah, that's me wrapping up for this week. Hopefully, wherever you are in the world, you are doing well. You are having more success in your sewing escapades than I have this week. But yeah, thank you so much again for popping by and supporting my little channel, and for being a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, please do hit on the subscribe button. It would be really nice to have you back here, and hopefully next week I'll be filled with the joy again, because my sewing will be what I love. There won't be any holes in my fabric. Yeah, we'll see. Take care. Thank you for stopping by, and happy stitching. Bye bye.